Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on this Monday, April 13th. This is the live update of the Riley County coronavirus response. My name is Vivian Uccello. I'm the Public Information Officer, and today we're going to hear from Local Health Officer Julie Gibbs, as well as Riley County Police Department Assistant Director Kurt Muldrup, and Tony Kroll is providing ASL interpretation services for us. Thank you, Tony. Julie.
All right, thanks, Vivian. Hi, everyone. As of today, April 13th, Kansas has 1,376 positives statewide, with 309 hospitalizations and 62 deaths. Riley County now has 21 confirmed positives, and 8 of those have recovered. The most current case is a 20-year-old female who is being isolated at her home in Manhattan. We have reached out to her and began the appropriate contact investigation. We are currently monitoring 18 individuals and have 6 tests pending. We have partnered with Westview Community Church as their facility is now a central location for donated masks as well as a distribution point. They have many requests for masks from organizations and businesses in town, so please consider making a donation. You may drop off masks at their location at 615 Gillespie Drive anytime between the hours of 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and again on Saturdays from 9 a.m. until noon. If you need to pick up masks, you may do so at those same times. They are limiting 3 masks per family. This is for the whole county, not just Manhattan community or those that belong to the church. In accordance with CDC guidelines, we highly recommend you wear a cloth mask in the event that it will be hard to maintain social distancing. I have seen many businesses require their employees to wear cloth masks, and we applaud that effort. I also want to take some time to thank those employees who put themselves at risk every day. Thank you for your work, and thank you for doing your part in wearing a mask to protect your customers. We are still encouraging anyone with questions to email us at rileycountycovid19@gmail.com. For those of you with symptoms, please call the screening line at 785-323-6400. We have a healthcare professional that answers those calls every day from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. Again, that number is 785-323-6400. Earlier today, Dr. Lee Norman mentioned that KDHE has revamped their website to make it more user-friendly and more accessible. Please check it out when you have a chance. There's a lot of valuable information that can be found on that website, including toolkits for different populations. Dr. Norman also predicted last week and this week to be the worst in Kansas. So although we're doing okay here in the county, it is important that we keep up our social distancing and stay home unless you need essentials. We are doing well so far, and I'm very proud of the community for that. We don't want to move too soon. Also, please be sure to check out the Riley County Health Department website at rileycountyks.gov for updated information. Thank you all for your support and your cooperation. Turn it over to Kurt now.
Thank you, Julie, and good afternoon, everyone. I again want to thank the citizens of Manhattan and Riley County for their continued efforts at abiding by the governor's stay-at-home order and practicing the good social distancing principles we keep talking about. Based on what we're seeing and hearing, most everyone is doing a great job. While the news of another positive case today is disappointing, I still think our lower numbers in recent days is evidence that we as a community are doing the right thing. I also want to make the public aware of some counties in Kansas that have reported problems with citizens being pulled over by unmarked police cars and then being asked to show their papers to see if they are out on essential business. So far, we've not had any reports of this in our area, but I want everyone to know that the Riley County Police Department will not be stopping anyone to see if they are out for essential business. While we do have some cars that are unmarked, we do not make it a habit of using them to make traffic stops. If an officer were to stop you, They would clearly identify themselves as a Riley County police officer, and they would have a badge displayed. You can and should ask for further identification, and they should be able to provide you with an RCPD photo identification card. If you are still not confident that that person was an RCPD police officer, you should call 911 and confirm with the dispatch that an officer made a stop at your location. As every officer doing a traffic stop is required to notify dispatch of their stop in the location. Again, we've not had any reports of this occurring here in our area, and the KBI is investigating the cases that have been occurring, and no injuries or losses have been reported with those. So continue to be cautious during this pandemic of the various scams that people will want to put out there, and continue to be safe and stay at home. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that update. Do we have any questions from the members of the media at this time? Okay, not hearing anything. I wanted to ask a little bit about businesses. We've had a couple questions come in about local businesses wondering when it might be safe to reopen. Do you have any advice about that?
Yeah, so the governor's order is in effect until the 19th. We do believe that she will extend this possibly to May 1st, but we have not heard anything yet. So until then, please continue to stay closed.
Okay. Officer Muldrup, or excuse me, Assistant Director Muldrup, can you talk a little bit more about, kind of elaborate more about the statement that you made about essential papers? Will we ever be requiring that of locals, or do we know about anywhere in Kansas that that's happening?
Right, that's seems to be a reoccurring theme, and that is not something Kansas is doing. That would have been in the governor's order, and there are no papers required to be, to prove that you're going to an essential business or out on essential work. Quite frankly, I think that'd be a very difficult thing to impose. But no, there's nothing required to show when you're out on essential business. We will, like we've talked about before, maybe have officers stop at parties, or as we receive complaints about groups that are gathering of 10 or more and aren't practicing the social distancing requirements. Done that some, and it's gone very well. We continue to look for that, and think that'll increase some as the weather gets warmer and people want to get out there. Again, it's not a thing we are going to be aggressive at, and have had good compliance so far.
Good. Let's see. Julie, is there indication with the most recent case that you talked about that was community spread, or do we know yet?
Yeah, we don't know quite for sure yet, but yes, you can assume that there is community spread. As we saw it happen for the first time a couple of weeks ago, it is out there in the community. So as I've been telling people, you need to just make sure to proceed with caution, make sure you're practicing that social distancing, using good hand hygiene, not getting out unless you absolutely need to. That greatly reduces your risk of exposure. You can just assume that everybody has the virus at this point. And also note that not everyone shows symptoms, but they still could be carrying the virus. They still could be contagious. So you can wear your mask to protect others. But yeah, definitely stay at home. We're just assuming that there is community spread at this time.
Thank you for that. I know it's kind of the tendency, especially with some good news to celebrate, that we kind of have a tendency, we'd like to relax some of our restrictions. We want to get back to normal life, but kind of as you said earlier, it's very important that we don't kind of change those practices right now, because things could go the other way very quickly. So we appreciate everybody's efforts and ask you to continue all of that good work. Members of the media, do you have anything additional? I'm not seeing a lot of new information requests on the Facebook page. Do you have any questions that you'd like to ask?
Vivian, this is Haley from the Manhattan Mercury. Julie, is anyone hospitalized at this time?
No, no one from the county is hospitalized at this time.
Thank you.
And Julie, we have had a couple questions come in about the Geary County cases who were actually Dillon's employees for that East Side Dillon's on Sarber Lane. Have you talked with Dillon's about that? Have they mentioned any safety practices or things that they've done?
Yes, absolutely. We found out about this actually last night. We didn't have the details, and they were actually Geary County residents. So Geary County will be putting something out on their Facebook page as they have done the investigation and the contact tracing for that. So they will have more information on those individuals on their Facebook page later today. However, we have been in contact with the Geary County Health Department and also with the Pottawatomie County Health Department, because that Dillon's is in Pottawatomie County. So it kind of affects the whole region. We were in touch with Dillon's last night. They have given us quite detailed information about what they've done to make sure that they have safeguards in place. So they have completed a deep cleaning and sanitation of the store. They've enhanced their daily sanitation practices, including increased frequency of cleaning commonly used areas, such as cashier stations, self-checkouts, credit card terminals, food service counters. They've also provided masks and gloves to their associates to wear at work. They've established hand washing rotation for front-end associates. They've installed plexiglass partitions at checkout lanes. They've added floor decals and signage to promote safe physical distancing. They've adopted limits to the number of customers entering their store. And they've reduced store operations to allow for associates to rest and clean and stock the stores. Some of these things they were already doing, but they've added more to their process.
I think it also highlights the importance of what we've talked about before, that we should assume that there are people out there with the case, as I talked about one time before, not being afraid that behind every tree out there someone has the virus, but we continue to need to be cautious when you're in those high traffic flow areas that it's difficult to practice social distancing. That's where we need to be more cautious, practice that hand hygiene, and wear a mask if you so choose. And as we know, we can get those at the Westview Community Church if people desire them.
And the way I've been kind of thinking about it is kind of the responsibility is on each individual person to do everything they can to protect their safety, to protect the safety of those around them.
Right.
We've had a couple questions, additional questions come in about the Westview Community Church and their mask program. I encourage those folks to wait at the end of the broadcast. The video will be available and you can rewatch that portion at the beginning. You can also look on the Westview Community Church Facebook page for those details as well about the hours of operation and how to donate or pick up masks. Julie, you shared the totals received so far, is that correct? Received and distributed. I know we've had several meetings today and they're kind of running together for me.
Yeah,
I know that
ahead.
about 160 masks that were donated. That's a rough number. And they had given out about 120 masks, and then they had some more coming in. So they appear to have a sufficient number even for tomorrow or through Wednesday, they believe, and a good number of cars coming through. So want people to make and donate those as people begin asking for more masks.
Okay, thank you so much. Are there any other questions out there? If not, we will go ahead and wrap up for the day. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for those at home tuning in. We will be back again tomorrow, which is Tuesday the 14th at 4:15, and hopefully Facebook will continue to cooperate. If you have any questions, please share them in the comments, or again, email us at Riley County COVID-19. That's Riley County COVID-19 at gmail.com. Thank you so much.